Hello everyone, back to today's third video. We're going to have a look at the weather for the next 10 to 14 days for today's third video. So day 10 will take around the 15th of December, and we'll be able to extend out beyond that. We extend GFS and ECM Ensembles may run around a couple of weeks. We're going to have a look at CFS-V2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks. That's going to take us just about to the beginning of 2021. Been a busy day at GavsWeatherVids so far, so we began with the December month-end forecast. A bit late with that, but December month-end forecast has been published very much in line with like the winter forecast. We've also released the weekend forecast as well, because on a Saturday, your weekend look ahead. We're going to have, of course, this 10 to 14 day, we'll have a channel members live stream at 5 o'clock, so if you're a channel member, please check in to that. And I'm going to try and get a Christmas update done for you this evening, but I may run out of time. So if I can't do it today, then I will do it tomorrow. But just keep a close eye on my channel. There may be a Christmas update popping up rather late. Probably be after 8 o'clock, given how late I am going to be running today. But there may be a Christmas update popping up sometime this evening. Right, so as such a busy day, I better just get straight on with this, I think. So we're going to start off in the stratosphere over the North Pole at 10 HPA. These are the current temperatures at 10 HPA. So we've got these blue colours. These are the cold temperatures at 10 HPA over the North Pole and the Arctic right now. So as we run through, you can see that we're going to keep the temperatures looking really cold over the Arctic, especially on our side of the Arctic. So there's Greenland just there. So on our side of the Arctic and the North Pole, we're down to around minus 80, maybe a little bit colder than minus 80 next week. But generally quite cold temperatures at 10 HPA over the next week. So this is at metroseal.fr, by the way. As we run through into like day 10, so there's day 10 just there. Again, we keep those blue and purple colours over the Arctic and over North Pole. It makes very cold at 10 HPA up to that point. Now into the more extended range, we do see signs of some warming beginning to take place over Siberia. This is getting us up towards the 20th of December, and you can see these orange, yellow and orange colours appearing over Siberia. That is a very significant one. It isn't quite reaching, that's not quite reaching sudden stratospheric warming temperature levels. For sudden stratospheric warming temperature levels, we need to go up to the red colours. So just a little bit short of what we classify as a sudden stratospheric warming on this view, anyway, on this temperature scale. But it is a very significant warming of the stratosphere over Siberia, and it's really early in the winter. That's the 20th of December, so it might be that is setting up, you know, a significant warming of the stratosphere, sudden stratospheric warming in the days afterwards. It could be, you know, that's very early to be seeing that. So all eyes, I think, in the next week or two, all eyes will probably be on what's happening in the stratosphere. Remember, we look at stratospheric temperatures because the colder it gets in the stratosphere over North Pole, generally the stronger the polar vortex will get, and the zonal winds. However, this year at the moment, there is a little bit of a disconnect going on between like the stratosphere and the troposphere over the Arctic. So if we go back to right now, you can see it is cold at 10 HPA over the Arctic right now. You will think that will be driving a very strong polar vortex, but actually, and we have got a very strong zone of wind as well, but actually the polar vortex is quite weak at the moment, and that's the reason we're a little bit on the colder side here in the UK, across much of Western Europe right now. So you can sometimes get a disconnect between the stratosphere and the troposphere, and by the same token, even if you get a sudden stratospheric warning, sometimes that does not have any impacts on the troposphere. You know, you can get that disconnect between the strat and between the trop. But anyway, it does look as though developments already beginning to appear in terms of warmings of the stratosphere over Siberia early in this winter. We'll keep a close eye on that. Central temperature from Hadley is looking like this. So the CET provisional up to yesterday, 4th of December, is standing at 4.5 degrees, which is around 1 degree below average. So the temperature is around 1 degree below average. Pretty cold start to December. That's probably going to tick down further. I think that will go down into the freeze over the coming days, because we are going to have some quite cold nights, and daytime temperatures aren't going to be that warm warm either. So that's probably going to tick down by another degree or so, I would have thought, in the coming days. So the first week of December is likely to be quite a bit colder than average, actually. But of course, that's only 1 week. We have to wait and see where the rest of the month is going to go after that. These are the 500 millibar height and flow charts for Penn State University for the next week to 10 days, with the ECMWF on the top, the GFS down here on the bottom. So 500 millibars is now in the actual high pressure, low pressure, up being moved around by the jet stream running above. Red extrapolates, I should say, to high pressure, and blue to low pressure. You can see that the ECM has northern blocking. In the 7 to 10 day time frame, which gets us to the middle of December, with lots of above average heights there. Below average heights to the south, the jet stream is pushed south as well, so we are on the cold side of jet stream into this low pressure. We will be importing quite cold air, or cold air will be invading onto the northern side of the low pressure, and so yeah, you know, that could bring some wintry weather with it, and possibly some quite heavy rain at times as well. So rain and or snow is possible on the ECM solution. The GFS is similar, but there's a very significant difference, which is that everything is further northwards. So the northern blocking is further north and northeastwards away from us, round here. Which means that the trough of low pressure is further northwards as well. And the jet stream is a little bit further northwards too. We are more or less still just about on the cold side of the jet stream with the ECM. But with the low pressure being so much further northwards compared to the GFS, we are bringing in milder air from off the Atlantic. So out of the two solutions today, the GFS is the mildest and the ECM is the coldest. Even with the GFS though, it would only take a very, very slight adjustment of this low pressure and the jet stream. Just a very slight adjustment south, and you know, move this blocking area of high pressure a bit further southwards, and we would still be cold even on the GFS solution. Things are looking very interesting as we go into the middle part of December from a 500 millibar height anomaly perspective. These are the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles the next couple of weeks. We'll look at Bedford today. So the red line, 30-year upper air temperature average for Bedford. We're going to be colder than average for like the next 5-6 days. So up to next weekend, or up to the end of this coming week, we're colder than average. Now, as we go through to like the end of next week, we do go a little bit milder than average then. Temperatures lift up, and it is going to go milder and wet. So that's just that area of low pressure comes in. Beyond that, the GFS ensembles look like today they want to keep things relatively close to average, or possibly even a little bit milder than average, as we go through the middle of December and into the second half of the month. I think the GFS ensembles have trended more towards the milder side of things today. There are still significant cold outliers down here though, and so it remains an uncertain picture, I think, really from around sort of the middle of December onwards, maybe even a little bit earlier than that actually. It does remain quite uncertain. I mean, even as early as like Thursday, Friday, when we get this milder interlude, there are still some GFS ensemble members that hang on to the cold temperatures just here. But I think like at the end of the week, it probably is going to get milder, but how long that lasts for remains to be seen. Temperature anomalies from the 5th to the 13th of December look a little bit cooler than average, a little bit colder than average in weekend. Precipitation anomalies are very close to or a bit drier than average, especially so for more northern and eastern parts of the country. Here's today's wind flow map from earthnullschool.net, showing that winds are in from the north again today. So here come those northerly winds once again running down western side of Europe with low pressure away to our east. So that's the reason it continues to be quite cold. This is how the UK Met Office is looking for Tuesday. Low pressure is sitting close to country. This low just here in the North Sea could bring some rain and snow into northern half of the country Monday night into Tuesday. So that could be another little bit of a snow event for northern areas. That low pressure sitting over country on Wednesday will bring further wintry weather to the north, probably cold rain in the south. After that, we see that the UK Met wants to strengthen the high pressure over Scandinavia. So I explained this in the live stream last night. We've got the Siberian High just here. That big area of high pressure is the Siberian High, and it's sending a ridge to Scandinavia, which is blocking the progress of these areas of low pressure, and that's what's causing the jet stream to go in that direction, take the areas of low pressure with them. So actually the UK Met keeps us cold up to 144 hours as far as we go, which is a Friday the 11th of December. The UK Met Office is keeping things pretty cold, and you know, we have that Scandinavian high that is keeping the low pressure in the Atlantic at bay. Now have a look at the GFS 6Z, because this is going to just run the low pressure in very quickly at the end of the week. So whereas the UK Met has the ridge from the Siberian High into Scandinavia and blocking progress of these areas of low pressure, the GFS is just bringing all of this energy in from off the Atlantic. So a very, very different solution at 144 hours with the GFS 6Z, which looks much milder but also much wetter and windier compared to the UK Met, which looks a lot colder and has the high pressure of Scandinavia dominating the weather. Now the GFS Ensembles have trended towards this operational GFS run solution. So I think the chances that it will turn milder, wetter and windier at the end of the week are growing, but don't completely discount this Scandinavian high holding the low pressure up scenario that the UK Met is showing there. I think we'll probably know by tomorrow, but don't totally discount that still. But I think we have edged more towards milder, wetter, windy weather breaking through by next weekend. So this is Saturday, week away, looking quite wet and windy. Low pressure is dominating the weather then. And then running up towards day 10, just keep more low pressure coming in from off the Atlantic. So relatively mild, but also unsettled up to day 10. Notice by day 10, though, we're beginning to rebuild the heights to our east and northeast. We're starting to get some higher pressure ridging to the north and to the northeast. And as we go through into the second half of December, look at this. High pressure is sitting more or less over Scandinavia, having a really good go to get wind around into the east. Actually, on this particular GFS one, it doesn't quite come off, and we just finish up under an area of high pressure, which turns us dry but probably cold and frosty. But it has a really good go, doesn't it? Getting that high pressure over Scandinavia into the second half of December. The charts, the weather charts remain very, very interesting, I have to say, and very far removed from what we had last winter. GEM looks like this. So again, we're looking cold and unsettled on Tuesday with the GEM, and then again we bring this low pressure in from off the Atlantic a little bit more vigorously for the UK Met shows. So this is turning us milder, wetter and windier at the end of the week in line with the GFS 6Z. Remember, low pressure sort of pushes away to our east, though, so the jet stream is still on this southerly track, and we still have the ridge from the Scandinavian high just here, so from the Siberian High just here. That's Siberian High, and that's a ridge into Scandinavia, which again just sends these areas of low pressure southwards. So although the GEM does break the Atlantic through at the end of this week and turns us milder for a couple of days, by the time we get through to there, Sunday 13th of December, we're looking like we're beginning to pull cold air back in from the north again. And actually, that's how we finish up with the GEM at day 10, with low pressure sitting just to our south. High pressure is towards Greenland, Iceland, and we are pulling in these cold north to northeasterly winds, and that could be a scenario for snow there across more southern parts of the country from this low pressure. As these cold northeast winds come into that low, you know, that could be the chance of some quite significant snow. It does depend on the exact parameters within the atmosphere. So you can see we are bringing -5 Celsius isotherm into the northern part of the country, but +0 Celsius isotherm is into the south. So you're going to have a clash of air masses there. There would be a weather front that would be kind of like marking the boundary between the cold air from the north and the milder air from the south. So that's the sort of thing that can deliver quite a bit of snow. So the GEM looking very, very interesting indeed at day 10. Long way off though. That's how the ECM is looking. So again, we've got this low pressure coming in on Tuesday. That brings rain and snow into the northern half of the country. Keep this area of low pressure sitting around the country, bringing further rain, sleet, possibly hill snow into the middle of the week. And then the ECM wants to try and start moving areas of low pressure into the Atlantic, but struggling, much more so than the GFS and the GEM show. So at the end of next week, Friday the 11th of December, the ECM is actually looking quite cold, more in line with the UK Met, Again, we have the ridge from the Siberian High into Scandinavia in that direction. These areas of low pressure, again, their progress is being blocked, and so what happens is we start to run the energy southwards again. The low pressures can't go in the direction they want to go, which is west to east or southwest to northeast. So this is the direction they want to go, and they want to go in that direction, or they want to go in that direction, but they can't. They can't go in that direction because the high pressure is up to the north and to the northeast, ridging from Siberia into Scandinavia. And so instead, they're going to take the path of least resistance, which is southwards. And so the ECM is keeping us cold, really, up to, up to day 10, as we saw on the 500 millibar high anomaly flow chart. Another low is going to have a go at getting in at day 10. But again, it looks like that one is going to take the path of least resistance, and that one's probably going to go southwards, as well as the heights remain relatively high within the northern latitude. So the ECM really keeps us cold up to day 10. This is the precipitation forecast based on that ECM run from tammeteo.com. Just have a quick look at this. So we've got some rain and sleet around and a little bit of hill snow at the moment. Things are turning quieter over this weekend, and the emphasis will shift much more towards frost and fog. And then bring this low pressure in from off the North Sea as we go from Monday into Tuesday. As that comes in, it could bring another snow event to parts of Scotland and Northern England. Again, primarily over high ground, but not exclusively so. There could be some snow even to low levels Monday night and Tuesday in the north. Further south, it's mostly sort of showery bursts of cold rain. And then we run up towards the end of next week, and we keep things pretty cold. Really, what precipitation there is more out towards the western half country, a little bit of rain and hill snow. Then a more vigorous area of low pressure comes in towards day 10. That bumps into the cold air, possibly brings more snow to northern parts of the country, more cold rain down in the south. This is the option that's on the table within the ECM Ensembles today for day 10, which gets us to the 15th of December via the Icelandic Met Office. 51 out of 51, all members of the ECM Ensembles have low pressure over to the south of the country, blocking to the north. Winds coming in from like an easterly direction. So for the south, that could be unsettled and a little bit wet. For northern areas, that's probably still quite cold. In 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. They all look quite interesting from a cold perspective. 22 members of the ECM Ensembles are showing, let's actually get that out of the way. 22 members of the ECM Ensembles are showing high pressure over Scandinavia and to our north and northwest. This will be bringing in winds from an easterly direction, so that's blocked and cold. 21 members of the ECM Ensembles with high pressure within the northern latitudes. Low pressure is over and to the south of the country. That could be quite cold and unsettled too. And then 8 with a trough of low pressure to the east, and let's change the colour, a ridge of high pressure out to the west and potentially bringing in winds from a northerly direction. That's the 20th of December, which is 5 days before Christmas, and most of those ensemble members seem to involve cold weather. So if you want a cold Christmas, they look quite interesting. Lastly, we've got the CFSV2, so these are 500 millibar heights bringing down to week periods. The first week period takes from the 5th to the 11th of December. Coming week has low pressure over the country. High pressure is out to the west and to the north. Winds are in from the north to northeasterly direction. So cool, cold and unsettled in the week ahead. Week 2 is going to be the 12th to the 18th of December with high pressure to our east and northeast. Low pressure is to our west. High pressure is to our south. So we're trying to revert back to a milder westerly pattern there. More unsettled around the middle part of December and a little bit milder with winds from the west or from the southwest. But look at this. Week 3 is the 19th to the 25th of December, Christmas Day. High pressure comes back over Scandinavia, strengthens dramatically. The Siberian High strengthens dramatically and moves towards Scandinavia. This will pull the wind in from an easterly direction. And you would expect us to be having cold easterly winds there from that. And then we go through to week 4. It's even more interesting. This is 26th of December to New Year's Day. The high pressure is retrogressing. You know how I love a bit of retrogression. The high pressure is retrogressing from Scandinavia to Greenland. It's going in that direction. We've got a trough of low pressure underneath it. That looks like it would be a scenario for snow to me. Becoming, you know, would still be cold, but would become more unsettled. And very, very interesting there as we're heading up between Christmas and New Year. CFS V2. Very interesting indeed. Right, okay, so it's all, you know, it's all looking very interesting, basically. And that's the end of the video, though. So if you enjoyed this video, please smash the like button. Let us know in the comments what you think. Make sure to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to tell your friends to subscribe to GavsWeatherVids as well. We're very close to 8.5k subs now. 8,500 subscribers. We're putting on subscribers all the time at the moment. And hopefully we'll be able to get to 9k very, very soon. It would be great if we could. Right, so I think that's it for this video. Anyway, still looking very interesting, isn't it? So far removed from like, last year. So far removed from, last winter. Okay, so that's it for this video. So, channel members live stream is coming up at 5 o'clock. If you're a channel member, please check into that. And then from, or later on this evening, hopefully, I'll be able to get the 14th Christmas update done for you. Probably quite late. Might not be until around 8 o'clock, but it gets it. But I will try and get that done for you tonight. For this one, that's all for now. And thanks for watching.